there is only one type of company you should be looking at if you are wanting to get into investing in gold companies right now. And maybe you're looking at your portfolio, you're thinking, where should I start? Should I go for whatever company is promoting heavily right now and chasing the next big discovery? Should I go for producers, the big names, etc.? Forget about all of these. Hi, I'm Fabi, and I've been investing in the junior mining space for over 10 years, which by definition means, since this was probably one of the longest bear markets in history, that my gains have far exceeded my losses finally, because there's so many losses in this business that if you live to tell your story, then you know what? You've done very, very well. And I have an idea that I want to propose to you. I have a partner company that's called Fortune Bay, and they have a model that is almost unique to themselves. I try to find other companies that are doing the same thing, and it's very difficult for me to find anything like it, because what they have done is they have done the hard work that we should have done back when gold was cheap, back when uranium was cheap as well, because they have a couple of uranium projects. And they bought or staked projects when nobody cared about them, foreseeing that the markets would come to them and would re-rate their projects. And lo and behold, that's exactly what's happened. And with that, they've been able to advance their projects as the market gave them credit and allow them to raise the money to push the projects forward, which is a different way of doing things. You see a lot of exploration companies, and they're all out. They have one flagship project. Maybe they have a few other projects on the side, and their whole thing is that, they have blue sky potential. That's exciting. I'm all for that. But statistically speaking, the higher the stock goes, the less likely you are to make any money from the exploration campaign that they're drilling right now, because, how much is a discovery worth if the stock has already doubled, tripled, quadrupled, sometimes even more? I've seen wild things lately. So let's not be tempted into looking at exploration companies before owning this type of company. Companies that have resources in the ground that are proven up or historical, and they are working towards just getting to a place where the projects are such a gimme for any company that wants to come in and buy them out that they become impossible to ignore. So let's take a look at why I think the timing is now for Fortune Bay. So Fortune Bay, they are working with what we like to call the Lausanne Curve. It's not what we like to call it, it's what it is. That's what it's called, because Pierre Lausanne was the person who clarified this model for junior mining companies or mining companies in general. So it shows here the value curve, how much value is created versus time or through time. So through exploration, I would dare say that this could be a little bit more accurate with ups and downs, with the expectation of a hot market versus completely flat with no promotion of the company. That's usually what happens with the big discoveries as well. And from the discovery stage up until the feasibility study, that's where value is created. Now, there are different ways to go about it. You can either go completely greenfield and try to push this yourself, but only if you're lucky enough to make a discovery, or you can pick and choose projects, which is what they've done here. You pick and choose projects that have already either a historical resource, which I love these kind of projects, because there's certainty that there is something there. You just have to prove it up and check if it's economic. And other projects that are just statistically very, very likely to work at this stage. And then instead of partnering up with other companies that would create this value, they then have waited for the bull market, this is the key, okay? Let's not forget this. These guys were good with their timing, and it's not luck, it's experience. You can check their backgrounds. They've all been through different cycles throughout, you name it, gold, copper, silver, uranium, etc. So they know the drill. And to me, the thrill of investing in this type of company is the cyclicality and being able to ride the wave. So they were smart enough to, pick cheap stuff here that was very likely to come out to a positive resource and a positive project with good NPV, etc. And then they took it upon themselves with a bull market to start building this out. So they have one project that's, closer to here. And they have a couple of projects that are here and one that I would say is like kind of here. So let me just show you what I mean by the right timing. Okay, the best time to buy gold is right now. Actually, the best time to buy gold was, these 2 points. And the second next best time is right now. Since we can't go back in time, what we can do is actually buy the companies that did buy projects when the markets weren't giving them much credit for it. So they had a spin out, okay, from a different company into Fortune Bay. And that happened in 2015. Let me just tell you what happened in 2015, because I was around. And 2015 was the year, I remember this very clearly, November and December. It felt like the space was when you go out into the wild, wild west, like in the cowboy movies, and then you see tumbleweeds. And then the only people around are sitting at the bar, drinking their last dollar, and they're toothless. That is a depiction of what sentiment was like in November and December of 2015. And lo and behold, what happened in 2016? We had a little bumper of a market. It was like a flash bull market that lasted approximately 6 to 8 months. And then things slid down again for a little bit. And then we finally, restarted this bull market, or started a new bull market, depending on how you see it, how far you're willing to zoom back. But going back to this depiction here, you can see that this was the best time, 2014, okay? 2014 was the right time to buy or to get, to acquire, in any case, a gold project, because nobody cared. Absolutely nobody cared. 1 ounce of gold would not cost you any more than $1,200-$1,300. Those were the good old days. And what has happened since? Well, we're sitting at 4,000 now, and we are correcting around 4,000. We're going sideways, which is beautiful. So what they were able to get here, they are silently building up as the market is going up in price by a factor of 3, 4, and beyond. That's beautiful, because they did the homework for us so that we don't have to kick ourselves to not have bought at the very bottom. Same thing with uranium. I am bullish uranium. You know this if you followed me for any longer than 5 seconds. Buying uranium projects or staking them, which is even better, it's even cheaper, before 2021 or before, this is exactly what happened. You can see here before 2021, because this happened here in 2021, and we have already corrected since our highs of 107, coming back down, but now we're picking back up. And from the fundamental story, you can tell that this uranium bull market is far from done. They already have these projects. They're not advancing them. They have elected to do partnerships with the two the two areas that they have, American Strike and also the Woods. And I honestly think that this is the right decision. These are projects in the Athabasca Basin, and uranium right now is in a mixed market for raising funds. The Athabasca Basin is very much a winner take all kind of area, kind of jurisdiction. And so if there's something there, the stocks and the partnerships will yield enough of a payback that will be well worth their time, but also it takes a lot of money to drill in that area, unfortunately, which means that instead of trying to do like everybody else does and, trying to see if there's something of value in these projects that the market will give you credit for, depending on market conditions, they're going to let somebody else do that. And then strategically understanding that gold is moving now, the gold market is moving now, gold companies are raising now. By the way, look at the raise they just did recently. I dare you to go through the raise they just did and compare the terms with most other companies of their size or stage. They probably drive a really hard bargain when they're sitting at a negotiation table and they are willing to take money from investors, because I know for a fact that most companies in their position, knowing what they have, but also knowing how much money is being offered by the market right now, that they would want to be a little bit more generous and offer warrants and this and that, the other, big discounts, etc. No, like this financing was super clean and very much towards company shareholders and towards the company from a benefit analysis. It was very worth it for the companies. For the investors, it's good if you want to come in with size and you don't want to move the market. So it means that you're self-selecting some really quality long-term investors. That's the idea. Why do I really like what they're doing here? Because not only do they have the timing right, but also they have the technical knowledge in order to be able to say, we are going to have, I guess, a different mix of jurisdiction risk, but also a different mix of, just project risk. They have Goldfields, which is in Saskatchewan, along with the uranium projects. And that project already has numbers out. They have an NPV that if you look at the market conditions right now and you look at what it's worth today, conservatively, it is 10 times what the market cap of the company is going for. But there's also a wild card in Pomarosa, their Mexican project, which they have some work to do there locally before they can start drilling and actually advance it. But if you look at the geology of the place, if you look at where it could go, if they can strike a really good partnership locally, let me tell you, I envision not selling this project, not selling this company for a very long time. I'm a shareholder, so disclaimer, this is a partner company. But this is one that I was very happy to hold before we even signed, because the value is already there. Literally, if they did nothing, don't let the management team know this, okay? Let's not show this video to them. But if they did nothing for the next 2 years, my bet is it could easily triple without them doing anything. Obviously, that's not the case. That's not what they're going to do. They're going to advance the projects because that's their whole proposition. Their business model is they're going to pick and choose which projects suit the stage of the market so that they can spend as little as possible and get the best bang for the buck. That is the strategy in a nutshell. I struggle to see other companies doing that. I do, honestly. And I think it's going to pay off in spades because their idea is their little factory of projects that sell. It's not to sell the company. When I heard this, I actually couldn't believe it. The idea is not to sell the company, the idea is to sell projects. And so if you look at Goldfields, is it a viable project? Great jurisdiction, good geology, great numbers. There's still improvements that can be made, and the price of gold can hold here so that the expectation goes even higher. Absolutely sellable project. But then there's something else, right? There's another project. And they're always on the lookout for new projects that they can use their technical ability, their technical knowledge, and improve them at the little curve here on the Lausanne curve, the up curve, where you can grab the most amount of value. I don't know what else to say other than if you haven't done your homework on this company, you definitely should. So enough of that. Go and check them out. Fortune Bay Corp is this company, and I am all for it. I'm a big fan. I'm going to continue to cover them, and you'll be hearing about what is going on with the company. Just go follow them on socials. They're very, very active, and you can see boots on the ground, what they're doing right now, what they're working on, and all that they have coming in the next 12 months. I cannot wait. I cannot wait. And I can't tell you either what I expect from it because I don't want to jinx it, basically. This is it. I don't want to jinx it. There are some things that I think could happen to this company that would be absolutely mind-blowing. But that takes time and work and a little bit of luck. So if you want great value, you want to buy something that's worth $1 for 10 cents, this is Fortune Bay. All right. It's enough from me. Take a look at gold. Take a look at silver. I foresee silver exploding. Take a look at the gold silver ratio right now. Historically, does it look good or does it look good? I know it's painful. Still have my silver coins. I should show you someday. I should really show you someday. Most of them are out in a different country. All right. If you are new here, then comment below. Tell me what you thought about this video and what your questions are, either about the company or about any topic that I mentioned here. And if you're not new, let me know how long you've been following me and watching me as well. Please comment below and let's keep up with the great news of gold and all that the juniors have yet to move through as we continue in this bull market, much anticipated bull market. All right, take care, guys. See you next time.